Yeah, I said we just got back from video at Daytona Auto Mall, Daytona Mazda, and then it's like, oh, interesting, power's out. So, as I said, keeping it real. So I'm like, what do you do when the power's out? Isn't it amazing? We got so used to some of these technologies and these advancements, and then we're like, hey, it's cool. And I tell people we should all make preparations. I heard about the Tesla, I think the capacitors and stuff to store power and stuff, and solar and all these things. But we need stuff, and we need stuff like real practical, because what happens when power's out? Can't run your TV, video cable, can't run your refrigerator and stuff like that. If possible, if people can afford it, like a nice generator, or that can be used outdoors or someplace that has good ventilation, so you're not gonna potentially cause carbon monoxide poisoning. And they should have like at least some kind of cooler or igloo or something that can help them, especially like here, or maybe a state like Arizona or California when it's really hot. These are things you think about, and it's like, can you survive without electricity? Can you survive without if things were really different? Suppose you had electricity for a day. I mean, a few hours is one thing, but suppose it lasted a whole day, 2 days, 3, 4, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I mean, what do you think would happen if electricity went out for more than 2-3 days in this country, even for one day? You remember the blackout happened a couple years ago? That was the thing. I mean, it's interesting. People actually got up and rose to the occasion and started. Even young kids were directing traffic and trying to keep law and order, so the cars don't crash into each other's intersections. And that's another thing too. When it's something that happened, a disaster that happened, people have to learn to work together. I'm just saying this now because this could be a sign of things to come. Because I've heard other things that say they may do potential things like EMP strike, or maybe potential power outage, potential things happening. And this time and age, anything can happen. So what happened if they were to do something like that? Suppose the grid was to go down again. Suppose we'd have a blackout or power outage. I mean, California has some things that they're working on sometimes. Suppose that was to happen for real. Are we going to be able to survive if there's no power? Does anyone have enough? Do we have enough batteries, flashlights, maybe LED power, which doesn't use as much power? Do we have enough stuff saved up there that can be used? I'm pulling up weeds here. Can be used as potential stuff. If you didn't have the power anymore, what would you do? Do you have something to cook food on? You have food that's stored? Do you have non-perishables, cans and dried foods? I'm not trying to do this as a promo, but this is an opportunity to say, hey, let's take stock and see, are we prepared for what could potentially happen? I keep hearing stuff like this happening, and I don't take it for granted. The Bible speaks about things happening, as well as other people, non-biblically speaking, say the secular world you call it, speaking about it. Are we prepared for disaster? Are we prepared to have stuff here that we can use if need be? What are you going to cook on? You have wood burning stove? Yeah? What kind of food can you cook if you have no fire? Do we have a lot of fire? I mean, I need to do that. Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, you know how to do a lot of fire without, a match or one of those, those little, what do you call this? Those little, you press it and stuff and you get it back. We're going to get that. So those things are stuff we got to constantly watch and see if possible. And, and when it comes to it, look out for your neighbors also. Check and see the elderly, people who are infirm, people who are in medical supply equipment, like, concentrators and stuff and different power things. Those things you got to look at. So when powered out, everybody got to pull together. And you pray that you get thunderstorms to help, cool the temperature off in the sunshine. Pray that there's actually a reprieve in the day at some point, because it could get very bad quickly. I would say, as I said, a bit of advice, an expert can probably tell you better. I would say, if anything, if you don't need to go into the fridge, there's also some wasps in the back of the house. I gotta. Every time I go, this bug's trying to get me. There's some in the back of the fence. I have to go spray it later. But they tell you, for instance, things like don't open the try to minimize opening the fridge or the freezer in particular. Let it stay cool so you don't lose your foods and stuff. And try to minimize opening the house. If it's AC's on already, keep the temperature cool inside. It's much cooler in that enclosure than it is when it's open to ambient air. When it's power outage in high heat, from what I understand. Same thing. Keep a lot of water and stuff close by. Check on each other. And the public service thing. check the local authorities and see what they say when these things happen. But you know, and number one, report it if possible. If you have a signal, report it. If you ever need something, also try to keep like a power bank in your. There's a little power bank you can keep in your car, like you know, it can be used as a booster jumper for the car as well as for to charge up your batteries and your phone and everything, and those things. You know, just keep a good set of those around. You just never know. So stay prepared, stay safe, and by the grace of God, hopefully next time you see us, we'll be uploading something on the internet. But there's no Wi-Fi. But you look up in the sky, there's God. Yeah, that's enough. So we can make it. So we'll see. We'll see. So God bless. Stay safe.